Hi everyone, this is Lucy at Middle Path Yoga here in Brighton. Today I'm going to show you a few partner yoga poses. I have a good friend of mine who's come over to help show you these postures. I've been teaching partner yoga for over 10 years now, and it's such a great type of yoga because it's generally a lot more light-hearted. You can't really take yourself too seriously when you're trying to balance with a partner. It's also a nice one for introducing your own home partner to yoga if you're someone who practices regularly and your partner is interested in seeing what you get up to in your weekly class. Today we're going to concentrate on forwards and backward bending postures. So these backward bending, the heart open, is particularly good for those of us who are spending perhaps a lot of time working at the desk, for example. I'll follow that by doing a side bending and a twisting video at a later date. Warm up if you can with the sun salutation video, which you can also see on my channel. It's worth sitting, taking a good amount of time at the start to breathe with your partner, tuning in with how you feel, but also how your partner's feeling today as well. Hope you enjoy it and let me know how you get on. Okay, so sitting back to back with your partner. Now, Rowena and I are about the same height, as you can see, but if one of the partners is a little shorter than the other, then that partner could sit on a block, raise their hips up, and then you'll just find you'll be a little bit more comfortable together. So we're going to sit with our legs crossed. I'm sitting here in Sukhasana, which means bringing the big toes underneath the knees. If that's not comfortable for you, then sitting in any way that is. Notice which shin is in front, because we're going to be swapping them in a moment. And to start off our partner yoga practice, we're just going to establish our breathing. So try and get as much contact as you can back to back with your partner. Sometimes we find that you're having to prop your partner up. So see if you can both sit up tall, enjoy the support of something up against your back, a bit more comfortable than sitting with your back up against a hard stone wall. So enjoy the warmth of your partner's back. And start to tune into their breathing. So we can start to inhale and exhale, synchronizing our breathing. And as we breathe together, we can think about sinking down, sitting down a little more firmly. This awareness of the breath can help us to arrive in the present moment. We're mindful of this moment, this mat, this partner. So we're going to cross the legs the other way now. So the other shin is in front. And hopefully now we've started to see what it feels like, feeling your partner's back ribs moving. You can start to realise when they're inhaling, when they're exhaling. And we're going to start to do the opposite now. So previously we're breathing in and out at the same time. We're now going to start doing the opposite. We're going to take the arms out to the side in line with the shoulders. One partner in front with the hands in front, one partner behind. Doesn't really matter at this point which way round. So I'm going to invite my partner to breathe in as I lean forwards. And then my partner's going to breathe out as I breathe in and lean back. Exhaling forwards. Inhaling when you lean back. Again, we're endeavouring to keep the spine in contact. We really want this to be pleasurable. We want this to be like a massage. If it starts to feel torturous, have a chat with your partner. We'll just come back to neutral for a moment and swap our hands around. So the other partner with the hand on top. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we've We've not done our hair very well, so our hair is bashing into each other, which I'll change in a moment. But you want to make sure that your head is comfortable as well. So should we try another couple of breaths? So I'm going to inhale as I lean back and exhale forwards. In. Now, anyone starts to feel lightheaded, dizzy at all, just come back to your normal breath. You might find that you're breathing a bit too deeply. And then let's relax down. So release the arms. You might like to roll the shoulders a little bit after that. Extending the legs out now. So we get some movement on the ankles. They can feel a little bit tight after sitting with the legs crossed. Okay, we're going to keep the right leg straight and bend the left leg. So bringing the sole of the left foot, you can see Rowena doing it there more than me, sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Now, if you tighten the hamstrings, and do bear in mind that we're warming up at this point, if you're tight in the backs of the extended leg there, you can just soften the knee, just bend the knee. We're going to come back to that movement that we were doing a moment ago. Person leaning forwards is exhaling, the person who's leaning back is taking a lovely breath in with the chest open. But this time we're also going to start stretching out the backs of the legs. So this, I think what we'll do this time is we're going to link arms. So this, some of you might find that this version is a little bit more comfortable. Nice tall back. So I'm going to exhale as I come forwards. And inhale as I lean back. So try and think about massaging the spine, as I said. This is not a torture exercise. This is easing our bodies into movement with the help of our partner. In. So when the chest is open, we're breathing in. When the chest is closing, we're breathing out. So do that as many times as you need to. You can obviously pause the video if you'd like to do that a little bit more. We're going to change legs now and do the same on the other side. So was I under and you were over? We're going to do the other way around this time. So linking the arms the other way, a little bit of brain exercise as well, keep us mindful and present. So we'll start with our tall back. I'm going to lean forwards. Inhale back. And the partner there is doing the opposite breathing. So how's that speed for you? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Remember, if it's too strong on the back of the leg, we're just going to bend the knee a little bit there. Good. Chest open, breathing in. When the chest closes, we're breathing out. Great. And then coming back to neutral. Let's release the arms, extend out both legs once again. See how the hips are feeling, hopefully a little bit looser there. Backs of the legs starting to feel warmer. Last one then here from this seated position. We're going to have both legs extended now and come into a Paschimottanasana, forward fold, with the assistance of your partner. So shall I lean forward? Are you okay if you lean back? Mm-hmm. I'll lean forward. So once again, please do bear in mind that it is going to be stretching the backs of the legs. So if we need to bend them, we just soften the knees. And when we come into our forward fold, we're going to try and really be aware of it coming from the pelvis. And the lovely thing about having a partner here is you can feel the whole of your spine. So it's not just feeling from the inside out, as it were. We've also got the connection with our partner who's going to help us to bring that forward bend from the lower back. So we'll do it without the arms to start off with. So I'm going to take a deep breath in, start to lengthen my spine, and then I'm going to come into my forward bend. So easing forwards. So we were flowing in the previous exercises. We're now going to hold this posture. You're able to rest your head back, love, or is that okay?
Sideways?
Yeah, wherever you like, really. You can turn either way, whichever way is comfortable for your neck. Yeah. So if you have a cushion nearby, you might like to put a cushion underneath the partner's head to make it more comfortable for you. So I'm coming forwards from the lower back, as you can see here, easing out. And Marina's getting a lovely stretch over the stern. Well, I hope it's lovely. Is that feeling pleasant? Yeah?
It is, yeah.
Okay, great. So let go. I mean, and those of you who spend time at a desk or behind a steering wheel, behind a buggy, all of these exercises that we do during the day are leaning forward. So this backward bending half of this posture is certainly going to benefit those of you who lean forwards for most of your day. So enjoy that feeling of expansion around the heart. Now I know that Marina is familiar with this pose, and so she's going to feel quite comfortable in it. I'm just going to come back up 1 second, and I'm going to help her to lift. So when you're ready to come out, the person who's leaning forwards is going to help the other person to lift up. Just going to show you a variation here with the arms raised. So I'm going to take hold of the wrists, give her a little stretch as she comes back once again, and this time a little bit of extra stretch there. How's that feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So we'll take 3 breaths here with this variation. Communicate with your partner. Just notice if you say if it's too much, not enough.
Feels really nice.
Okay, great. Feeling the breathing, the ribs moving. And we notice how the posture changes whether we're inhaling or exhaling. Now I'm going to help lift her back up as we come up. Easing out, release the arms. Well done. You might like to give your legs a bit of a shake, especially the person who was leaning forwards then. And then we will swap it over. So I'm going to take my arms under, because I didn't show you this option on the other side. So we just, this is the other option if it felt too much with the arms raised. You ready to lean forwards? Okay, so take a breath in. And on the exhale, coming forwards. All right. Well done. So I'm going to rest my head back if that's comfortable. So when those of you leaning forwards, there's no need to flex the feet. One of the lovely things about the partner yoga is you are able, if you're feeling in a trusting space, you're able to relax and release further into the postures. So you do certainly need to feel that you're trusting. Your partner isn't about to force you somewhere you don't want to go with the posture. See if we can let gravity do a little more of the work. So would you be able to help me sit back up again?
Yeah.
So you start to lift up. That's it. Should we try the version with the arms raised?
Yeah.
So if I reach up and you take hold of my wrists, lengthening, and then leaning forwards. A little bit too much on the arms actually, if you could a little bit less on the arms. So remember to communicate, because you're feeling your partner breathing but you can't at this point read their minds. We'll take one more breath and back up. Thank you. Releasing the arms. So come back to your breath. Now you're in a neutral spine. Notice if the spine feels any different. Okay, so we're moving position now. I've asked my partner to come down to lie on her front. We're going to continue with our forwards and backward bending. I mentioned the benefit of opening the chest for those of you who spend your day at the computer leaning forwards. We're going to do another one of those now. So if you mind lying down and then bringing your arms behind. So the partner who's lying down is going to come up into Sapasana, or snake pose. I'm going to take hold of her forearms. You see we're doing a forearm hold. Rather than holding the hands can put quite a bit of strain on the wrist joints. So we're going to take hold of each other's forearms, and the same on the other side. I'm going to come into a squat. So those of you who find it's uncomfortable to on the ankles, on the Achilles, to sit right down with the heels, you could put some blocks underneath your heels here. I'm going to move back until there's a little bit of torsion there, or a little bit of effort there in the arms. And I'm going to invite Marina just to take a breath here. So if you like to breathe in and out. So what you'll probably find here, for those of you who are not used to doing partner postures, is that your partner will start doing the work for herself. And I'm going to see if I can ask her to sort of surrender more into the posture. So that if I let go, or indeed either of us let go, we both would fall backwards. So we're trying to find a place of balance here. I'm going to ask her to take one more breath. And then I'm going to gently lower her back down. Well done, love. You might like to reach your arms forwards in front of you into Advancana. That's it. Maybe rest your eyebrow center on the floor and just relax there. That's it. Okay. We'll swap over when you're ready. So something I wanted to just point out, in fact, maybe we can do it when you're behind. So if I'll lie down. Something to watch out for is not lifting the arms up at a really high angle, because that will end up compressing and pinching between the shoulder blades. You're going to continue to take the arms back in at the same angle as the shoulders. So you can see that it's just a gentle, that's it, yeah. Okay, so we'll come with the breath. So I'm just looking in front of me, sort of down towards the end of the mat. I'm not going to lift my chin up, because that ends up compressing the neck and feels like it's pinching around the back of the throat there. So just a gentle curve through the neck, feeling that the neck is just a continuation of the rest of the spine. I could probably go a little bit higher if you want to go there. That's it. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to take one more breath, and then on an exhale, down we go. So we're coming into our last partner pose in this series. We're going to one partner's going to come into child's pose, and the other partner's going to come into downward facing dog. It's a really nice one to finish, because you get a shoulder massage, little back stretch out as well. Okay, so would you mind coming into child's pose for me? So the person who's coming into the child's pose, if their knees are closer together, they will find that there's a more exaggerated forward bend. But for some of you, won't find that might not be comfortable around the abdomen, so you might prefer to have your knees apart. I'm going to come up and bring my feet close to where my partner's hands are, and ask her to take hold of my ankles there. And then I'm going to step back until there's just a little bit of stretch on the arms. Bringing one hand here to the pelvis, and then the other side. So I'm avoiding pressing on the spine. I'm not pressing on either side of the spine there. I'm going to start by coming forwards into a plank, press up position. How does that feel? Good. Yeah. Is that okay? So communicate as to how hard you want the partner wants you to press. I'm pushing down through my hands, pressing the bottom back towards the heels. And then I'm going to start to press my heels back and come into that downward facing dog that I mentioned. So my fingers are turning out slightly, spreading out, pushing away, just as you would do in your normal downward facing dog, pressing the hands into the mat. This time pressing away, my tailbone goes in the opposite direction. I'm going to drop my head. So I'm starting off with my knees bent. For those of you who are starting to feel more supple in the backs of the legs, you could go straight here. And then we're going to take 3 breaths together. Now I'm going to start to move my hands gently up her back. Maybe gently, maybe with a little bit of pressure. How does that pressure feel?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Again, it's either side of the spine, just gently pushing and releasing. Pushing and releasing. Then I'm coming up to the shoulders. And give a little squeeze on the shoulders. Is that pressure okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see that what's also happened now is that I'm coming into a standing forward bend. Again, obviously, if need be, we can bend the knees here. And then we would start again, moving back, kneading the back. If you imagine a cat, if you see the cat kneading out a cushion, it's like that, but hopefully with a little bit more pleasure, not associating it with your favourite cushion. Squeezing through the shoulders, one side then the other, maybe here with the legs straight if you're enjoying that hamstring stretch. And we can do that a 3rd time. We're still feeling okay?
Yeah.
Squeezing the shoulders, biceps, down the forearms. And then completing our sequence by reversing rolls now. Bringing one hand here to the pelvis and then the other side. So I'm avoiding pressing on the spine. I'm not pressing on either side of the spine there. I'm going to start by coming forwards into a plank press up position. How does that feel?
Good. Yeah.
Is that okay? So communicate as to how hard you want the partner wants you to press. I'm pushing down through my hands, pressing the bottom back towards the heels, and then I'm going to start to press my heels back and come into that downward facing dog that I mentioned. So my fingers are turning out slightly, spreading out, pushing away, just as you would do in your normal downward facing dog, pressing the hands into the mat. This time pressing away, my tailbone goes in the opposite direction. I'm going to drop my head. So I'm starting off with my knees bent. But those of you who are starting to feel more supple in the backs of the legs, you could go straight here. And then we're going to take 3 breaths together. Now I'm going to start to move my hands gently up her back. Maybe gently, maybe with a little bit of pressure. How does that pressure feel?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Again, it's either side of the spine, just gently pushing and releasing. Pushing and releasing. And then I'm coming up to the shoulders. And give a little squeeze on the shoulders. Is that pressure okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see that what's also happened now is that I'm coming into a standing forward bend. Again, obviously, if need be, we can bend the knees here. And then we would start again, moving back, kneading the back. If you imagine a cat, if you see the cat kneading out a cushion, it's like that, but hopefully with a little bit more pleasure, not associating it with your favourite cushion. Squeezing through the shoulders, one side then the other, maybe here with the legs straight if you're enjoying that hamstring stretch. And we can do that a 3rd time. We're still feeling okay?
Yeah.
Squeezing the shoulders, biceps, down the forearms. Great, thank you. Thank you, my love, thank you.